Today I'm giving you all a guided walkthrough as I mill what looked to be in the moment a gorgeous black butt log, and talk you through my mindset milling logs like these with the Lucas mill. Okay, we've got almost 7 meters of this black butt log here. Plan is we're going to get a 200 by 200 post out of the center. We're going to get some planks off the top and some of the sides, and then a couple big beams along the bottom. Sweet, so now that we've made a rough plan of what we want to get out from the log, really with the Lucas mill it's as simple as going from the top to bottom. With bandsaws you have a lot of flipping and turning. None of that with the Lucas mill. You start from left to right, top to bottom, which makes sense to my brain. We got a couple planks off the top, and I think it was around this stage that I realized, oh, this is not looking like black butt. The reason I thought it was black butt is because from the butt ends, it has a pinkish tinge, black butt, when it's freshly sawn, and then it goes your more oaky color when it's... So cutting through, getting our planks, we've got a rough count of what we need already, and I've seen that there's not a lot of issues with the log. It's still a very nice looking log, a few knots in there, but no dramas. So keep cutting here, and I'll talk you through the mindset of what I'm looking for. We're not too fussed about sapwood for this job because it's a rough sort of sawn job, and we're also not crazy about getting all the rainbows in our boards because they'll be cut down to length, so any bowing or crowning is okay for this purpose. So we're just going for quantity over quality, but because of the quality of the log itself, even though I discovered it wasn't black butt, it was still okay, and it was coming out pretty straight off the top, which is pretty common for these eucalypts. But when you get to the bottom of the log, it is a different story completely. I forgot my drone at this job. Usually I'll get some 6 shots for you guys, but I just set the tripod up at this angle, which isn't my favorite, but you can see the 23-ton digger in the background there, and that moved all our logs. I think we did about 5 or 6 logs at this job, and it did all the heavy lifting. Sweet, so I've milled through our planks, and I've cut them to length here. Got 31 at 2 meters, and some offcuts. Now we're gonna go for some big 200 posts and 200 by 50 joists. So far everything is going to plan, which I love to see. We're milling through a bunch of these joists now, sneaking up to the pith where we'll get a box heart post. And all this timber now is going to be going into a deck that I'll be building in about 6 months time at my house. So I'm going to start drying it out and seeing how it goes. So there's only 5 teeth on this blade. And before I do these big beams and post cuts, I like to give it a nice clean sharpen just for the accuracy of the cut. So I get 2 joists here, working our way closer to the pith, and seeing the bows come out was okay because I'm like, all right, we're gonna cut them down to about 4 meters anyway. So I like to do the bottom passes first on these big 200 by 200 posts, and the reason for that is when I go through the finished cut, it doesn't pinch the blade on the way out. Yeah. So I recruited a bit of help to lift these big guys into the, not even lift, really just slide is all we can do. Into the trailer. It's kind of funny, well, it's kind of embarrassing really more than it's funny. I got a belly button hernia from doing too much of this heavy lifting myself, so I guess the moral of the story is I should ask for more help, especially moving these heavy posts. So I'm getting surgery done, and we'll take a few weeks off to recover and heal, which is a blessing in disguise really, because I get to edit all these videos that I filmed and haven't had time to edit and put together for you guys. So stay tuned, subscribe for some more content coming out. So on this next pass of joists, I knew that it was going to be super bowy, so I tried a new technique that I've seen once before done, and it's you take your vertical pass on the furthest board away, and that way it stays completely true and straight because the strength of everything else is keeping it true and straight. And then you work your way to that board, and it did probably save a few, 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 inch of bowing that I didn't have. I had to grab a chalk and wedge that up because it bowed so much on my blade. It was pinching me, not allowing me to go through. So drop down to the next pass, and I'm trying to get 2 more 200 by 200s or 8 by 8s, and
I knew at this point in the log, it's got a lot of the strength milled out of it, so it's going to do whatever it wants to do. So immediately I ran into another issue, had to back it out and go through again, and that's what happened.
Okay, so as I was cutting that last post, it wouldn't let me go through because it reached its maximum depth, because this had bowed after my last cut on its own. About double this. This is how much I just sawed off the top of this. So I split the difference, cut that off the top. That's just a bit of firewood. And now we go again.
These things happen. If I was milling for a client, I'd have to explain it all to them, but because I'm just milling this for myself for a couple of deck posts, I know that if it ends up at being 185 by 200, I'm not that fussed because it's massive anyway, and it does the trick. It's also going to be cut in half, so the bow doesn't really bother me, but it is annoying.
Gnarly at the end. Luckily we don't need all of this one.
So one of the reasons these eucalypts are so bowy, especially this species, which I believe is rose gum, is because it does grow so fast in the golf course conditions that are here in the northern rivers. It's basically getting triple the amount of water and rainfall that it would get normally. And eucalypts are very greedy for water, so they do take in a lot. And so 3 or 4 of the growth rings that you would see in this timber is going to equate to about 1 year of growth. So they just grow extremely fast, and that's why they're a good size. And that's why I think rose gum was planted so much back in the day. And here I'm just docking it to length with the chainsaw. If I go through it and nick the bottom, I'm not too precious about it because we have nothing left at the bottom to mill. Now it's time to clean up, time to pack up and count, see if we got everything that we needed for our job. Load up the trailer and get inside.
I'll spare you the toil. This is not black butt, this is actually rose gum, and this is what we ended up with. Big long beam, a little bit of a bow to it, another few as well. Again, we got the planks there, a bit of offcuts, and I've just put this next log in, but yeah, we got everything we needed for our project. There's a few issues. Obviously, there's a lot of tension in it. It wasn't black butt. It looked like it was on the outside. It fooled me, but it's okay. A bit more color, a bit more of a rose color to it, less features. So yeah, there it is. Hope you guys enjoyed this milling experience. That just took me a while. Just had to run around and do a whole bunch of things, and things broke, and things always happens. But yeah, there you go.
Keep an eye out for my next video where I'm taking you up onto a mountain where we mill through over 150 logs, including this one, massive red gum. There's a bit of drama, we fight the elements. It's a fun one. See you guys next time.